Mk7 Performance. Just got done driving the Devil's Whip and having an awesome lunch and a beer at Hillman Beer here in North Carolina. And had fun in my Mk7, but Kevin's been kind enough to let me review his Mk8 GTI. It's a 40th anniversary 6MT, so let's go check it out. Alright, so those of you that follow the channel, you're used to my car, IS38 GTI, track prep, all that fun stuff. But Kevin's Mk8 is all stock except for a BFI shift knob, which looks really tall, but according to him, it's about the same as stock. Stock one's just a lot bulkier. So, yeah, we're kind of on a time crunch, so I'm just gonna hop in here and take it down the road and see how it feels. So we're on Route 40, and I've got the car all set up to my liking, so I can kind of tell you a little bit about it. I don't know why I'm getting such a bad glare on the camera, but I promise you I'm not looking at the camera, I'm looking at the road ahead of me. Although I will say the driver's assistance on this is far superior to the 21 GLI Autobahn we've got for my wife. Much less glitchy. Yeah, that glare is just terrible. There you go, so you can look around the cockpit while I jammer on about this 40th anniversary Mk8. So like I said, the driver's assistance seems to be night and day more refined. I haven't set the following distance yet, so it's just whatever it defaults to behind this F-150. But in braking, that got kind of like squeezed in to get around the semi-truck, and it was very smooth in its transition from 77 miles an hour down to we're at about 67 now. Where the previous generation in the 21 GLI is pretty last minute and abrupt. It seems like the sensor doesn't reach out as far as it should. I'm gonna kind of manually close this gap so we don't get rock chip attacked by the semi-truck. So anyway, the dash I'm assuming is adjustable color-wise. I don't think I would choose monster green as the background, but that's what Kevin's got. I promise he doesn't punch holes in drywall. He's not Kyle. He's getting rock chipped by that semi-truck back there in my car though. So RIP to Mk7. I will say the shift knob that he said isn't that high is definitely high compared to my car. But done complaining, this steering wheel is fantastic. Definitely a girthier outside diameter of the wheel itself, which feels really good in your hand, as do the materials, versus more of a slick top steering wheel on my car. The captive buttons that everybody complains about, I don't know what captive means, but now that I've experienced it, I can tell you it's something that you just have to get used to a little bit. You've got to kind of press and hold, and I about died of heat stroke trying to get the climate control going on this thing. But after using it once, I don't feel like it would be an issue. It's just something that right off the bat, people don't like change. It's different. My car is a poverty model. It's a 2016 S. So it has zero creature comforts outside of Apple CarPlay and heated seats. No automatic function at all for the HVAC. Where in this, you hit the button and it brings up a menu on the touch screen. So just a little bit different. And you've got those captive buttons for everything. It's kind of a like light touch and hold versus a click that we're all used to. Setting the cruise control and all that. So you might have just saw on camera we kind of hit a abrupt bump. The 40th as well as the Autobahn have the dynamic chassis control suspension, which is also on the GLI. If you guys want to watch a review on that, it's further back on the channel. Definitely something you want to have on these cars. Makes them very civilized when you've got it in comfort mode. And then even if you're not set to a more aggressive mode like race, it'll adapt in cornering to stiffen the chassis up, which is really nice. Something like the Moose test that Car and Driver does, where you're doing a really abrupt turn, it takes just fractions of a second for the car to adapt and really stiffen things up when you need it to, and allow it to be a comfortable ride when you don't. Horsepower wise, it's the 4th generation of this 2.0 TSI. The Evo powertrain is a designation from Volkswagen, so it's got a slightly larger turbo than the previous generation, more comparable to the Golf R IS38 I've installed on my car. So the horsepower potential on this car between that and the Evo cylinder head is enhanced. And I'm just going to go ahead and let it do its driver's assistance thing to show you, because this Toyota just kind of jumped out in front of us. Very smooth, nothing abrupt about slowing down for people that don't have mirrors on their car or haven't learned to use them. And we're climbing back up to 77 miles per hour I've got it set at. So definitely happy with the driver's assistance package in this car. I couldn't imagine how glitchy it would be in a car as old as mine, 2016. They've really done a great job at refining that. A lot of features and just little things that are reused from the same old cars as you look around the cabin. This is basically just a facelift building on the 7 and the 7.5, so you're going to see a lot of things that are familiar if you've had a Mark 7 or a 7.5 in the past. But obviously a lot that's new. A lot more digital cockpit going on in here. A lot edgier design, which I'm a fan of. Sometimes it's hard to tell your take on things until you see it in person. These seats are awesome. More of a winged bolster further up. It's got shoulder bolsters where my car kind of ends around the armpit area. So in a fun curvy road like the Devil's Whip we just came from, that's definitely an advantage. I will say these seats fit a little bit looser than the Mark 7. I'm 6 foot, just under 200 pounds, so I would say for today's day and age I'm kind of a average or a little maybe above average size guy. Well, 6'2", about 200 pounds. I don't know if I said 6 foot, but either way, plenty of adjustability in the seat to get it sitting down low like I prefer, to get kind of my geometry, just the rested position with the armrest, and a really cool pattern on the plaid seats. It's kind of just evolved over the years from having more red in it to less red in it, from the Mark 5 and 6 and then 7 and now the 8. But I think they're going in the right direction with it. It's a nice subtle plaid that it's cool to have something aside from just your average black and more black interior. Obviously you can go with leather. I think all of the seats have some kind of color accent to them. So yeah, first impression is it feels really good. The turbo spools quick, responsive as any stock Volkswagen, or probably better than previous models. Everybody will tell you the DSG is quicker, which it probably is. I will say the wife's GLI feels really good with the 7-speed DSG, so there's really no wrong answer. Kevin and I are both 6-speed manual guys, but looking forward to developing parts for the platform. For those of you that are just kind of dropping in because you're interested in the car and looking for a review, might not know, I run a company, Bond Performance, and build a full line of performance parts from intercoolers to exhaust for the MQB platform. So building on the 2015 to 21 models, I'll be starting my suite of parts for the Mark 8 shortly here. So like and subscribe. Check out my Facebook page if you're interested in performance parts, or as always, check out the rest of my YouTube channel to see what's going on with that. And let me know what else you guys want to see about this car, and Kevin and I will get together and do a long-term review on it, get his feelings now that he's got some miles racked up on the car. And thanks for watching.